Next is a 12-round bout for the International Sport Karate Association Cruiserweight Championship of the World. The officials for this bout are scoring judges Mike Lackey, Mike Sawyer, and Virgil Miller. The kick judges are Hampton McCrae and Lena Gomez, and the ISKA representative is Dan Swenson. Introducing first, in the blue corner, from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. He's 22 years old, stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, and weighs in at 181 pounds. He has a contact karate record of 12 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. With 8 of his wins by knockout, he is the ISKA number 6 world-ranked cruiserweight contender. Will you welcome, please, Lowell Nash. Nash. And in the red corner, from Sacramento, California, he's 27 years old. He's 5 feet 11, weighs in at 180 pounds. He has a contact karate record of 23 wins, 1 loss, no draws, with 21 of his wins by the knockout. He is the ISKA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Dennis Alexio. Alexio. Your referee for this World Championship bout is again Ron Maestas.
Alexio always likes to dress in a little bit of an understated fashion. You know, there he is. You know, that's just sort of something you want to wear going down to the local mall, do a little grocery shopping.
I'll tell you, when I first heard about Dennis Alexio, it was not as a karate fighter. He was an all-conference middle linebacker in junior college and a good football player. Guy's an athlete.
He's an excellent athlete.
High school. Ron Maestas is our referee. So we're about ready to go. Dennis Alexio and Flash Nash. Here's Ron Maestas. This is for the World Cruiserweight Championship. Lowell Nash against Dennis Alexio. Alexio has lost 1 fight to Don Wilson. Split decision. Would love to fight him again. 12 rounds, and here we go, John.
It'll be real interesting to see if Lowell Nash is intimidated at all by the champion here.
Alexio respects everyone, but he fears no one, and he can fight. Every time I've watched Alexio, he uppercuts, he hooks, he's an effective kicker, and he's got great self-esteem. He believes in himself.
He absolutely does that. You have to believe in yourself to wear those kind of pants.
You got that right. Now, Alexio is a fighter, strictly. Flash Nash has a job. He's a truck driver for Mistletoe Express in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Nash trains with Earl Gilkey there in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Gilkey's a guy that's trained Norris Williams, and just to mention a couple of real top professional fighters.
Boy, the strength of Alexio with that kick.
Alexio is pure athlete, as you said earlier. He does a lot of weight training to supplement, you know, his normal karate training. Does a lot of running. Real diet conscious. Watches what he eats.
Alexio is 27. Nash is 22. We are scheduled for 12 here in Denver, Colorado.
Good combination. And Alexio moved in, hit 3-punch combination, followed up with a real nice round kick.
Nash has some power. He's got a straight right that has knocked out 8 opponents.
We mentioned at the opening of the show that Alexio might be taking him a little bit lightly. And it looks at this point kind of like he's out there on a sparring, just with sparring partners. Of course, it is just the first round.
Oh, boy, he digs that punch into the ribs, both left and right hand. Round one scheduled for 12 at stake, the World Cruiserweight Championship. This is Dennis Alexio from Sacramento, California. Well, earlier today, John had a chance to talk to Barry French. Very interesting. We're back as they work a little bit on the eye of Alexio. Boy, we're joined, I should say, John, by the U.S. middleweight champion, John Longstreet, a guy that you've had a chance to work with. He's from your neck of the woods, 20-0. First karate student. When you open your doors, he's 14 years of age. John, welcome. You'll sit in with us for a while.
Yes, I will. It's nice to be here.
Did Worley teach you anything, or is it a myth?
He's taught me pretty much everything I know.
After watching the first round, John, what do you feel about Alexio? How does he look to you?
Well, in talking with Dennis in the locker room before the fight, he took the fight on a little bit shorter notice than he'd like, and as he admitted to me, he said 12 rounds is a long evening, and anything can happen, and he's not going to go out and force something. He's a class fighter, and he knows that right now he's got 11 more rounds to win this fight, and I think he won the first round. I think he's filling the guy out, and he'll eventually probably turn on here in a little bit.
How about Nash? I'm not sure it's fair to ask you after just one round, but what about the first round effort that you saw?
I think he's doing very well. He's staying away and pointing with Dennis. He's not getting in there and fighting in Dennis's fight. That right there is Dennis's fight, the inside fighting. He'll win at that game. Nash is going to do better if he stays back and hits and then takes his time with it.
The voice of John Longstreet, the United States middleweight champion, 20-0. Right now, Lowell Nash in the white pants going against Dennis Alexio, and I'm not sure what color we would call the pants. Just a colorful pair of pants, I guess, John Worley.
Multicolor. You know, I think Nash got Alexio's attention there for a moment. He landed a pretty good punch. Doesn't seem to be backing up that much. Doesn't seem intimidated. Hanging right in.
Thought you made a very good point. Earl Gilkey knows what he's doing. He is his trainer. Al Ligaro handles Dennis Alexio. This is the second round. Nash going against Alexio. This is the corner of Dennis Alexio. What about your corner man, John Longstreet? How important is that to you?
It's very important. They've been with you through the months of training, and they know your weaknesses and strong points, and they also have probably studied the other guy a little bit, so it's much like a head coach over there. Now he's filling you in and maybe what you should adjust to and telling you what to keep your eye out for.
Between rounds, we have finished 2, scheduled for 12 here in Denver. The World Cruiserweight Championship. Lowell Nash is 5'11", 181. Dennis Alexio, 5'11". He weighs 1 pound less. He's 23-1. Nash is 12-2. 21 knockouts for Alexio out of 23 victories, John Worley.
Dennis Alexio will come on in every round. He'll just pick up the pace just a little bit, and after about 5 or 6 rounds, all of a sudden he's really landed on you. He reminds me an awful lot of Jeff Smith, the first world light heavyweight champion. Smith would do that to you. You'd be out there fighting with him, and it would feel okay for a while, and all of a sudden it would just get harder and harder, and all of a sudden you would be, out of it.
John Longstreet, let me ask you as we view the action, what do you have up next?
October 4th, I'm scheduled to fight a world title fight with John Moncayo in the middleweight division.
Good combinations by Alexio. Nash and white, Alexio with the multicolored pants. Alexio does not make a lot of mistakes, John.
Not at all. He's a very, very complete fighter. Mixes up his kicks and punches well. He's inside. We said it before, but you just don't see it.
Oh! My goodness. Was that a surprise? Let's see what Alexio's eyes look like. They don't look too good. on the button by Flash Nash.
Alexio moved in there, dropped his hands, got relaxed, and just took a right hand.
All right, let's see if there's some killer instinct in Nash. Boy, I'll tell you, he wobbles him again. The knees buckle. You may see the biggest upset of the year right here, folks.
Absolutely. If Lowell Nash can finish Alexio in this round, that would be the upset of the year.
He's got to come on right now. The eyes are not clear yet. Nash has him up against the rope. What a shocker. Dennis Alexio has lost one fight. A controversial split decision to Don Wilson. And he's in trouble here in the third round.
He still doesn't have it back.
Oh, he's tired. And now Nash looks a little tired. He might have punched himself out. Oh.
Jump back kick. That's not the thing to do.
Nash is exhausted. Look at Nash. He punched himself out. We'll follow him back to his corner.
He is. He's just rubber-legged. He threw about 400 punches.
John Longstreet, what do you think?
Well, that's what makes the fight exciting. Anything can and will happen. I mean, that's what makes this whole thing exciting and fun to watch.
All right, we'll be back after this. Look at the knockdown.
Well, he just moves in there. Alexio steps back, kind of relaxing a little bit. He's just taking it easy, it looks like. And right here, just teed off, right on the chin, snap that head around. Those are the kind of punches you dream about.
Tell you what, John Longstreet, pride forced Alexio to get up because he was out on his feet.
Well, that's what makes Dennis the champion he is. He can get up and he'll try and come back and still win this fight.
All right, now, Nash punched himself out near the end of the round. Let's see if he's been able to recuperate.
Nash only landed 4 kicks in that round. He got 4-point penalty, even though he won the round probably 10-8. It makes sort of a strange look to the scoring. I've got it right now. Alexio ahead 28-23 because of the 4-point penalty. Bad mistake on Lowell Nash's part.
All right, Alexio now. Once again, now you're talking about a champion who is not used to losing. You know what he's going to do. He's going to be like a caged tiger this round. Straight right by Alexio. And look at the combinations, John.
I don't know if Alexio knew that Nash was that tired, because he certainly was exhausted at the end of that round.
Safe to say this thing is not going to go the distance. Oh, Nash is exhausted.
He's awful arm weary. Look at those arms. They weigh about 10,000 pounds apiece.
There's a spinning back fist, so he's still dangerous.
Alexio just looks like he's kind of tippy-tapping a lot of those punches, and then he tries to tee off. Nice spinning hook kick landed on the head.
Fighting southpaw now. Oh, the mouthpiece leaves the mouth. 3 solid punches by Alexio.
He's got a slugfest here.
Nash is exhausted, John Longstreet. And he's down. And he is going to have a tough time getting up.
Okay, he's on his feet, but he barely beat the count.
Oh, Alexio with a solid punch. A kick, I should say. Another one. A straight right by Alexio. The crowd is going crazy. The bell. Doesn't matter.
No, it's not. That fight's over. Can't be saved by the bell. Cannot be saved by the bell. This is the end of this fight.
That's what champions are made of. Dennis Alexio got up off the deck and comes back and just flat destroys Flash Nash. The doctor into the ring quickly. They want to make sure that Nash is all right.
I think Nash is more exhausted than anything else.
John Longstreet, he knocked Alexio out. He was very aggressive in the third round, then he seemed to punch himself out.
Definitely, that's the difference between the Dennis Alexio and maybe a Nash. Alexio showed the champion that he is. He was down and he'd come back, and that's what a mark of a champion is. He had some good rounds, but Alexio was the one that eventually put the fight together at the end.
Ron Mason came over and said that he's just tired. Let's take a look at this action, fellas.
Once again, Nash trying to make a real charge out of it. Moved in, threw everything he had into the right hand. But it was just too little too late. He pretty well shot all he had in the third round and didn't have anything left. There's a left hook that hurt, a body kick that hurt. And we see really the the finishing touches coming on there with a good, strong right hand, the left hook to put him down.
Boy, and he was on his way down before the punch even started. John Longstreet, let's take a look at one more time, a little different angle.
Okay, what we see coming up here at the end of the fight is Dennis is actually picking his shots and winding up, hitting as hard as he can. And anytime you do that, I don't care what weight division or who you're fighting, you're going to knock that person out.
Back with more action from Denver on ESPN right after this.
Cruiserweight champion of the world, Dennis Alexio.
Dennis Alexio is now 24-1 as Flash Nash comes over to visit with him. John Longstreet, the United States middleweight champion, joined John Worley and myself. And now John has Dennis Alexio. And let's go up to John Worley with Dennis Alexio.
We said coming into the fight that maybe Dennis Alexio would be taking Lowell Nash a little bit lightly. Was that the case?
No, not at all. I don't take any of these guys lightly. They've all got something, you know, to shoot for when they're fighting me. And this guy was tough. I just got a little careless one time, but I made up for it.
You say you got a little careless there. It looked like you kind of were just laying back a little bit, and he surprised you with the right hook.
Yeah, it was something like that. I guess I blocked my own vision with my hand up or something, but he caught me, but I recuperated okay.
It looked to us at ringside as if he burned himself out pretty much at the end of that third round. Did they tell you in the corner that he was done, that you could go ahead and get back on him in the fourth?
No, they just told me to keep my composure and just keep setting him up for some good shots. And I just, you know, played it by ear and kept working.
Well, okay, this was kind of a scary one. You don't like to come out and have that happen to you at any time.
No, I sure don't. It's not, you know, it's not any fun getting knocked down. But I came back, and it shouldn't have happened. I made a careless mistake, but I'm okay.
Well, the mark of a champion is the ability to get up when it's tough and come back. That's exactly, Irv, what we saw from Dennis Alexio tonight.
No question about it, John. It was like another sense taken over